All right, guys. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Debbie Morrow, and I founded the Real Estate Agent Referral Network and Marketing Tips Facebook group about 3 years ago. And I love to watch how you guys are working together and passing business in there, building great relationships. And that's what this virtual coffee is about. It's all about an extension of that. Um, and usually we have a featured presenter. This week, it is going to be my buddy Ray, who I don't know how much you guys know about Ray, but he's an amazing real estate agent, coach, business owner. He's owned a multitude of businesses over the last 30 years of his life and really has a ton of knowledge that he shares freely with everyone in the group. Do you know that he runs a 5-day challenge for us once a month or once every 6 weeks or so that people in this group can grow their businesses? It's amazing. And before I turn the call over to him, I'm actually going to have Amber. I know I saw you come in. Are you here? Amber Pearson, will you unmute yourself?
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Amber. Amber just went through this most recent 5-day challenge with Ray. So, Amber, will you tell us just a little bit about your experience from that challenge?
Yes, absolutely. Ray is incredible. Ray has so much good information for us. And that weekly roadmap is such a great reset, which is really important in this market that we have where everybody's shifting and nobody knows what we're doing. Just being able to just buckle down and figure out a way to get solid leads coming in regularly. And Ray will have you with people out your ears by the end of the week, I promise.
Latrina's laughing at that, with people out your ears. So his 5-day challenge is a do it challenge. During the challenge, it's gamified. You get points for doing this and doing that, and you have teams, and it's a ton of fun. Ray says he just got kicked out of the meeting and he'll be right back. So good to know that I didn't turn it over to him yet. Oh, looks, here he's coming in.
He's probably one of the most generous people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. He will give you quite literally the shirt off his back if he has an opportunity to. Oh, great. Now he's back and I've made him blush.
So that is so true. So Ray, I don't see you yet, but I heard you. So Ray,
Debbie, let me chime in on that. I went through his program back in May, and I'm also on he's also my coach. I'm on a team here in Atlanta now, so I can definitely verify everything that he's telling you through the program or through the 5-day challenge. I've actually come across through my team. So I'm in constant meetings with them. So that's why you guys haven't seen me in a while. But everything that he's giving you through the coaching, I'm seeing from my own team. They're giving us all this information. So it's a wealth of information if you are by yourself and you need guidance and leadership. You know, just sometimes, especially, you got to think about this as your own business. And I think that's what a lot of realtors, especially myself, that I kind of failed at in the beginning. I'm thinking I'm waiting for somebody to tell me, okay, what do we do? What do we do? And you really need to run your company like a business. And so, you know, if you go to work every day, you get up early, you have to do the same for your company. Whatever notes or whatever you need to get done, you have to put it on schedule. And so my weakest areas was always in scheduling my time. And that's one of the first things that he talks about in his program is scheduling and putting, you know, blocks on your schedule. And so I was like, oh my God, this is hard. But, you know, once you start sticking to it and doing certain things, it helps. Like I said, I just been out of pocket because really, really busy, especially with school getting back in. But it's wonderful. The information is great. So if you haven't met him, please do so. Very warm. Very kind listening ear, and he'll tell you about his story. And so it just is he's a humble person, and then it makes it a little bit easier for you when you're talking to him.
Thank you, Phyllis. And so for anyone who hasn't met Ray yet, you will in just a second. And there are many stories just like that. Danny's gone through the program as a lender. Constantine just went through the program. Trina's been through the program. There's a lot of people here who have gone through his 5-day challenge and just really kind of unlocked or gave them some aha moments. Ray, where are you so you can tell these people a little bit about your 5-day challenge?
Hello and good morning, everybody. Sorry I got kicked out of Zoom. I guess it didn't like what we had to say. For everybody, thank you for sharing your kind words. Like, honestly, it's why I do what I do, and it humbles my heart. So thank you. Phyllis, Amber, anybody else that I may have missed. So I'll give you guys kind of a high level on me. My name's Raymond Sjolseth. I'm 48, married with 5 kids, currently live in Chicago, born and raised in Los Angeles. I tell everybody I moved to Chicago for the weather or the landscape, you can choose. When I moved here, I owned an LED lighting company. I designed, engineered, and manufactured commercial lighting solutions. I started that company when no one gave a crap about saving energy in the early 2000s. It took us about 3 years to really figure it out. And how I got my first client in that business, I've had 45 companies, you guys. 40 have failed, 5 have done well, 2 have been acquired by public companies. It has been one hell of a journey, to say the least. A couple of things that I'm very proud of is my tenacity and fearlessness to get back up again and literally just start over, okay? So when I had that lighting business, nobody believed in the technology yet. And my first client was Raytheon, a Department of Defense contractor for the government that builds all sorts of different stuff. And I had cold called this guy, and I'm like, his name was Buddy. Hey, Buddy, my name's Ray. I own this company, C-Smart. You know, we have this technology. We can save you 75% of your energy costs, yada, yada, yada. He's like, okay, right. Nobody has that technology. Hangs up on me. All right, I call him back. I'm like, look, man, just give me 15 minutes in your parking lot. Okay. He's like, okay, fine. Come now. So I'm like, all right. I throw a bunch of stuff in my car. I throw a power inverter in my little bitty Mitsubishi Evo that I was driving at the time. Drive down there. I plug it in, turn it on. He goes, holy crap. I spent 6 hours with them. I literally stood on their conference table, retrofitting their lights real time, showing him the difference, put an energy meter on it, showed him the energy being consumed. The next week, I did 4 offices in 4 different colors. The next week, we had our first PO. And that began that journey into that business. And it took us about 3 years of getting stable. Once we were stable, we were growing at 300% a year, consistently growing. And that's how I ended up in Chicago, because I owned New York, I owned LA, we had 3 offices, but Chicago was ran by one of our partners. And that partnership fell apart, and the Midwest was 35% of our business at the time. I tell you that story because at the end of the day, whatever business we are in is just that. It's a business. If we are building relationships with people, if we are interacting with people, if we're selling a product, if we're selling a service, it is a business. And I'm going to fast forward to COVID real quick. When COVID hit, I had 2 things happening. I was already rebuilding from a phase of my life. I went through a divorce in 2017 that cost me the majority of my wealth. But fortunately, I was able to keep my kids, and that was my only goal. But I had to start over financially and from an asset perspective. And I was in a very, very good place. So that was 2017 to almost the end of 2018. So going into 2019, I'd been introduced to somebody through a mutual friend who was in the outdoor advertising business. And they were telling me about all these problems that they were having with their billboard structures. So I ended up partnering with somebody. We created a paint product that was very, very unique, both for the automotive market and the outdoor advertising market. So over the course of coming into 2019 until March of 2020, we built a product. We got it EPA approved. We got a patent awarded on it, and we secured a $100 million contract with Lamar, the outdoor advertiser. Okay. March of 2020, we get, COVID happens, right? I also had a consulting business. I lost 75% of my clients. We had actual tests going on for this paint product in Florida and Tennessee and Georgia. Super happy with the results. We got awarded this contract. May comes, 30% stock market hit. That contract goes in the trash. Lamar's a public company. We're getting paid off the P&L from service and maintenance. They stop spending. They stop painting. They stop servicing. They stop manufacturing. Everything goes in the trash. Okay. Then my CFO, who was also my business partner, literally passes away from COVID, left behind a wife and 2 kids. Then supply chain goes crazy. I can no longer afford to make the product because what used to cost me 25 bucks a gallon now costs me 65 a gallon, and I was selling it for 45 a gallon. Okay. So 2020 was one hell of a year for a lot of us, and it definitely was for me. And I had never, ever had to start over from below zero with 5 kids and a wife, and one of our daughters has special needs, and she's in all sorts of therapies. And Blue Cross made a bunch of changes with insurance that year as well. So there were just a lot of things kind of stacked against the deck, if you will, and I had to pivot. The one thing I had been doing for 30 years, though, is I was a real estate investor. I had owned in and out of over 2,000 transactions in 7 different states. Single-family portfolios, multifamily portfolios, syndications, joint ventures, real estate investment trusts, which is one of the reasons I chose outdoor advertising, because I knew that market. Also from LED lighting, used to sell them lights. So what ended up happening is I started coaching agents. It was kind of a low-hanging fruit where I started getting calls about marketing and branding and websites and this kind of thing, because my consulting agency was like half consulting, half digital marketing. As I went through that first year in 2020, going into 2021, I put about 50 people through a one-to-one program. They all got fantastic results. 2021, I tore apart that program and I rebuilt it. And I looked back at all of my failures, all of my successes, and what worked. From that, I created 3 frameworks. They're now the pillars of my coaching program, okay? Our 5-day challenge came from that framework. So the way that I look at any business is that it has 5 phases at any given time. Some of them are happening at the same time. 1, you have a startup phase. 2, you have a networking phase. And that is about influencing your sphere, not the other way around. 3, you have a prospecting phase, which is always happening. Then you have a momentum phase. Then you have a sustainability phase. So the 5-day challenge itself was built on these 5 pillars of, hey, I'm an agent doing nothing. 2, I need results so I can start talking to people. And during that 5-day challenge, that's exactly what you get. Some of you that are here, I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to call on you. Trina, can you share your experience inside the 5-day challenge?
Sorry, technical difficulties. I was trying to get my mouth over there. The 5-day challenge, it really opened my eyes to what I wasn't doing and what I didn't know about myself, business, and just the consistent I guess patterns that I needed to follow, the consistent things that I needed to do every single day in my business to continue to generate leads and just be successful and grow.
Thanks, Trina. I love it. Amber, what about you?
So I came into the challenge just kind of floundering. Like, I am in a spot where I just opened my own brokerage this year, and it was a lot more than I was anticipating it being. I thought it'd be great. I'd just go, take care of my clients and it'd be fine. Now and everything completely dried up in my local market as well. So I've been kind of lost. And Ray gave me direction. He showed me how to get back on track, how to organize my schedule in such a way that I'm not spending 12 hours at the computer doing busy work and not actually accomplishing anything, and how to take back my family time, how to reorganize my brain in such a way that I can actually get work done when I sit down to get work done and not spend 12 hours just doing busy work. I actually joined his coaching team as well, and I bought his program. He calls it the Agent OS. It's a really, really incredible program that I actually haven't even had a chance to dig into, but I'm super excited about it. he knows how to get your brain back on track. And for that, I will be eternally grateful.
Thanks, Amber. Denise, are you on here too today? Denise Contreras?
Of course, my friend. You know how much I love you. Hello, everybody. Good morning. So, I took Ray's course recuperating from a surgery, and I have been floundering. I'm a commercial agent, and I'm very efficient at closing deals that were referred to me, but I was just like not understanding why I wasn't reproducing. And after taking the standout assessment, which kind of lets you know what kind of person you are and how you attack business, I was able to figure out that I was time averse, you would call it, right, Ray? I had to learn how to block time, be deliberate. I'm going to use an analogy that Ray gives that I love. He shared with me, and what I love about Ray is he's no nonsense. If you don't give your own self oxygen, you can't share oxygen with anybody else. So you got to be unapologetic about your business. And what I learned from the course is I got to be creative. And when I'm creative, be non-apologetic about what I'm being creative about, because every ideal is birthed by you giving it the momentum to present it. And I was not networking appropriately. So he was intentional on making me block out my time. I'm laughing because this is the one thing we thought about. I'm very efficient on LinkedIn. Most of you are on Facebook. I hate Facebook, no offense. It's something I'm still working on. But every day I get a loving message from Ray's group. So I respond to he or Sabrina deliberately. And aside from everything that I've learned, Ray has a community of like-minded people that want the best for you. So we are collaboratively intentional, and we are not about being in competition. And I thank God and thank Ray for that. I have earned a friend, a coach, and I love his program.
Thanks, Denise. Appreciate you sharing. Guys, the reason I asked everybody to share is that everything I do is results driven. Like I begin with the end in mind, okay? And for me, I spent 30 plus years creating products. Over the last 30 years, while being a real estate investor in the background, I spent designing, engineering, and bringing to market well over 450 different products in all sorts of different vertical markets. Ink and toner industry, computer peripherals, consumer electronics, LED lighting, as I mentioned, construction. I developed some tools that Bosch acquired that had patents on them. I used to manufacture cabinets in Asia, flat pack them and sell them to real estate investment trusts here. So we would do 100, 200 kitchens, 100 bathrooms, whatever at a time. That's how I got in the off-market multifamily space. So today, what I focus on, I have a podcast called The Agent Podcast. I wrote an Amazon bestselling book with my buddy Walter Key, the startup agent. That's in back of me. We have 2 more coming out this year that are based on my pillars of coaching. One, prospecting for your personality type. Another one called Be Seen and Get Found. That is our core job, is to be seen and get found. Nobody can see us. Nobody's going to find us. If nobody finds us, we're not going to get business. There is one of the workshops Debbie and I are going to be doing soon. It's called the 3 C's. It's about conversations, connection, and conversion. That is the only objective that we have in this business, okay? We have to generate conversations. And in today's age, there are a lot of ways to do that. From those conversations, we can foster connection. When we foster connection, we can have authenticity. There is no better time than to be yourself. There's over 8 billion people in the world. We have so many different ways to connect, and there's literally no excuse. If you want a door knock, door knock. What we're doing, what I focus on, I call digital door knocking. Okay. I will never cold call or door knock somebody. That is not my style. But I will digital door knock you all day long. Facebook posts, LinkedIn posts, Facebook groups, engaging in the comments, starting conversations cold through direct messaging, right? But I bring value. I offer value. I help people build toolboxes so that if you're focused on for sale by owners, you have a toolbox to keep showing up. If you're focused on expireds, you have a toolbox to keep showing up. If you're selling VA loans, you have a toolbox to keep showing up, right? More and more and more people value authenticity in the world we live in today. Like the sales, that model from the 1950s, the 1960s, even the 70s is not the same as it used to be, right? The used car salesman type thing. I'm not going to say it's dead because that's not true, but people are connecting differently, and that's our opportunity to connect. And that's why I started the 5-day challenge. Okay. People come into my world through this virtual coffee, through my podcast, through my books, through introductions and referrals. I needed a place. Okay. If you know anything about digital marketing, it's a funnel. It's a sales funnel, right? You have a big, wide open mouth at the top, and then it necks down over time. And everybody that comes in the top does not come out the bottom, right? So for me, my 5-day challenge was a way of serving one to many and driving impact so people can get results. If you are a newer agent, loan officer, escrow person, home inspector, home appraiser, it doesn't matter. Anybody that has the ability to offer a service inside the real estate business, you can grow. Day one, we focus on that you are a startup business, and there's only 2 things that you have to manage before you do anything else. You have to manage your mindset, and you have to manage your activities, because we can't manage time. We all have the same 24 hours, 365 days a year. So we have to manage our activities. Day 2, we're focusing on networking. We're talking about communication and getting people to raise their hands. I put you through 2 exercises. 1, create an engaging Facebook post to get people to raise their hands. That average response from this single 1 post is 100+ comments within 24 hours. That's 100 new friends you just made that you can engage with. Then we cold email 10 people, pick a category: chiropractors, doctors, insurance agents, home inspectors. Doesn't matter. Cold email. The average response rate is 20%. You're not getting 20% on Zillow. You're not getting 20% on direct mail. Massive, massive difference, okay? Results driven. Day 3, prospecting for your personality type. On Monday, I have you take a strengths assessment. Day 3, we tear that apart. We talk about your strengths, what you're using, what you're not using, how you use certain things, what it means to you, how you feel about what this assessment says. It's not a test. It's literally an assessment. I've taken all of these different personality type tests. These strengths assessments are the best. They will help guide you on how you should be using your unique superpowers, your unique abilities that the universe has given you. Okay. From there, we are then engaging in a Facebook interest post. That's showing you how like-minded people are literally waiting for you to ask a question, and build these mini networking events within these groups about what you're doing. Day 4, momentum. You just spent day 1 learning about yourself. Day 2 and 3, pushing and getting results quickly, literally within hours. And now what's going to happen is startup, networking, and prospecting. That's going to stack up, and you're building momentum. Okay, now that you have momentum, it's about elimination. What doesn't belong in your schedule? What does your calendar look like? How are you spending your time? Where are you focusing in your unique ability and your strengths? And day 5, sustainability. That is all about building a sustainable business for you. For you, because what's sustainable for me is not sustainable for Debbie. What's sustainable for Debbie is not sustainable for me. We all have different things happening in our life. Look, you guys, I got 5 kids, one of them with special needs. Like, if I'm lucky, I have 20 hours a week of uninterrupted time. COVID pushed the boundaries for me. I created what I call the success cycle because of that, which I'll share with you in a moment. Okay. I had to figure out how to get 80% of results in 20% of my time. That's what it was about for me. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick here. This is the real system that nobody talks about. Your day. CRMs, Facebook ads, Zillow.com leads, Zillow Premier Agent. Those are all tools, you guys. They are not a system. The real system is your day. How are you using your time to get things done? Okay, so for me, I went back. I tore my life apart. What worked? What didn't? I was brutally honest. What support did I have at the time? What did I lack at the time? What did that look like? And there were 5 things that I realized are consistent in any business. This is a framework for any business. Okay. Number 1, lead generation. We don't have clients. We don't have a business, period. That's number one. So I allocate on my schedule every day 60 minutes, 60 minutes for lead gen. That could be a lot of things. That could be cold calling, could be using a dialer, could be messaging people on Facebook, could be doing one Facebook post and responding to one that you posted 2 weeks ago. Okay, with my Facebook strategy, you are spending weeks cultivating leads that are all filling your database. Last year alone from my Facebook strategy, I added 1,200 people to my database, 1,200 that I now talk to every week via email, every other week via text. Okay, setting appointments. If you're generating leads, you're going to be setting appointments. I allocate 60 minutes, but my goal is simple. Set one appointment a day. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay. Now, because I'm generating leads and setting appointments, I have people to put in my database, right? Drop them in my CRM, make some notes, set a follow-up task, that kind of good stuff. Connections, the most important, 90 minutes. That can be on Zoom, could be a phone call, could be face-to-face. It could be a vendor. It could be a local business. It could be a client, a listing appointment, a buyer, an investor. It doesn't matter. Make connections. And lastly, content creation. We live in a world where we are all consumers. You're only doing two things on social media, guys, creating or consuming. Okay. If I had my choice for all of you, it would be creating. You don't need to be consuming. There is not enough content for the 8 billion people in the world, many of which are still not even on social media yet, to consume. Okay. Lead gen, set appointments, add contacts to your database and make your notes. Go to those connection meetings and create a piece of content. If you are connecting with people, you can make content. You can shoot the business. You can take a picture of your coffee or your glass of wine. You can make an intro video with the lender that you're meeting with over coffee. You can show a community that you're driving through. Hey, this is Farmington Hills. Average home with a price is $450,000. Average square footage is 2,200 square feet. Blah, 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 blah. There's a million things that you can do, but we got to move past the fear. Okay. So I built all of this to work in 4 hours a day. That's 20 hours a week. That leaves you plenty of time to do everything that you have to do in your business. Listing appointments, buyer's consultations, meeting with for sale by owners, going to closings, securing contracts, all the administrative BS that we have to do in business, all that kind of good stuff. So inside the 5-day challenge, we teach this. We actually spend 2 days, 2 separate days on it. We touch on it day 1, so you can get that around managing your activity. And then day 3 on prospecting, we dive a lot deeper into that.
So Ray, I know I haven't asked you this question, so I don't know the answer. So we all know you don't ask questions you don't know the answer to, right?
Yeah.
But have you set the dates for the next 5-day challenge?
We did actually.
Ooh, yay.
Yeah.
Because like now you've gotten everybody excited about it. When is it?
Yeah. So guys, I don't think Samantha's on here. Samantha works with, so a little fun fact. Trina was one of my first podcast guests like 2 years ago. Okay. Then we became friends. Then I started to like help her out with various things as she was getting her business started. Then she joined my wife and I's EXP downline. Then she joined the academy. Then one day, not too long ago, she called me and said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I want to participate more. Are you hiring?" So I said, yes. And she joined us. So Trina, Samantha, and I run the 5-day challenges along with Debbie, of course. And Samantha is getting married in September. So we are working the challenge around Sam's wedding. So I think we landed on September 25th through the 29th. Okay, so here's the deal with the challenge. If you are in general admission, it's an hour live event that you participate in inside a private Facebook group. If you join VIP, it's an hour coaching session after each live session. So what happens is you join us on Zoom as VIP, we stream live into the group, we go over the curriculum for the day, assign action tasks, okay? And then we just cut the live and go straight into VIP coaching. This is gamified, Okay. We give away a luxury 8-day, 7-night Mexico vacation for the grand prize. For second place, we do a VIP day with me that we break up over time. And the third day we do, I think, a copy of the Agent OS course plus software and some other bonuses that Sam and Trina come up with as we're going through the challenges. So September 25th through 29th. I do not have the new link to sign up ready. That'll be ready later this afternoon, but we will drop it in Debbie and I's group for everybody to get to. We'll put a post out there so it's fresh for everybody.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So excited. Ray, thank you so much for all you do for our group. There's been so many people who have gone through it, and I'm not there every day and I don't participate every day, but when I do, it is just amazing watching all of the results that people are getting from this challenge. So love it, love it. Anything before we close up and move into breakout rooms?
No, if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me and we'll get it to you. It comes with a free toolkit. So on the back end of my website, when you sign up, you're going to get a dedicated portal. Inside that portal is a toolkit. There you can take your strengths assessment. You're going to get some bonuses from us. That has everything you need. It has a workbook. So each day you're literally filling out that workbook live. And at the end of this challenge, you literally have your roadmap. Debbie, can I show them what that roadmap looks like real quick?
Of course, go for it.
All right, let me pull that up. And guys, thank you all for being here this morning. Like, this group is growing and we absolutely love it.
So Ray, Yana asked in the comments, do we have any students from Canada, because they don't have the same systems we do. But I don't think you don't really talk about the MLS and that kind of thing, right? This is more business.
Yeah, guys, one of the big differences that you'll notice with me is I'm not going to teach you how to be a real estate agent. I'm going to teach you how to build a real estate business that's sustainable for you. Okay. That means if you are an agent and you're doing X amount of deals per year and you want to increase those because your goal is to buy one investment property a year, that's the type of stuff that we do inside our academy. Our academy is a group coaching environment. I hate calling it coaching because it's way more of a community. We have about 35 people in there, a lot of people on this call. And the goal is to help people be a better version of themselves to be a better business. And that's what we're focused on. That's why my umbrella of everything is called Be Better, Build Better. In order to build better, we have to be better. Like, it is an inside job to do anything that we're trying to do in our life. Okay. It starts with us. That's why inside the challenge, we focus a lot on awareness. And if I can teach you guys what your strengths are and how to leverage them, your lead generation, your networking, the ability to follow up with people becomes way easier in your business. And it starts to feel a whole lot less like struggle and work when it's just connecting and having conversations with people. All right, let me show you what this checklist looks like real quick, guys. I'm going to show you a little peek inside the workbook, and then Debbie, let's get into breakout rooms. All right, so this is what we do. This is what we're building here inside the challenge. Okay, day one, startup. We do some mindset work. We talk about thinking bigger to managing your activity with time. We talk about the success cycle. Day two, networking. We're going to identify target partners. We're going to identify local businesses, and we're going to leverage that through a Facebook group post. Day three, prospecting. We're going to talk about who you actually are and want to be, your future self, and how to identify the best prospecting methods for who you are and what you love. And then we're going to talk about creating multiple sources of leads. Day four, momentum. We're going to define what success looks like for you. We're going to talk about the real system, which is your day, and how that's working for you to get you to that success you want. And we're going to talk about what's working and what's not. I say we go on an elimination diet. We literally make a list of all the stuff that we don't want to do or don't like doing, and we start eliminating things that don't serve our business and our personal self. Day five, sustainability. We talk about working on your business. We talk about who, not how, and we talk about embracing the power of focus. All right, I am going to stop my share, shut up, so we can get into breakout rooms.
Okay, I'm going to turn